as my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we gon' hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap.
Coach, there will be time for reflection, certainly as the season goes on, but for what might be the final time in the East Bay, it is opening night of the NFL season here in Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Now, spike 51. We're good.
This is Josh Jacobs, the Alabama man, with his first NFL carry. And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Here's Ellington. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Darryl Worley up to make the tackle. Well, unless there's a postseason meeting later in the year, this is most likely the final time that the Broncos and Raiders will play in Oakland. Of course, so much history between the two since their inaugural season in the AFL back in 1960. Broncos and Raiders, they've been locked together in the same division, facing off twice a season. And this rivalry also stands as the most common pairing for Monday night games like we have here, 18 times, the most of any two teams. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To pass, Flacco. He's got a man, it's Sutton, that's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Carr going to try and throw on third down. Able to find Warner. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. They'll run on first down. Richard, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. On third down, Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. What now?
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Carr gives to Rashard. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Running the toss here to Jacobs. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. 6-0 our score after 1. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey, pushing through the contact. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Flacco. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal, Flacco. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Markel Lee able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. The kick by McManus is good, and that will make our score 9-0. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep route, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. On 2nd down, Jacobs. He'll have a 1st down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From midfield, here's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Will Parks there in coverage to knock it away. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Maurice Hurst. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Yards on the punt there. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. On first down, Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. First and 10 at the 19. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else?
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in the final game of opening weekend 2019. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos first and 10 at their own 43. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Another run by Lindsey. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On second and 9, Flacco. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, 37 yards. And the Broncos push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
First down, Broncos.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Flacco. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. On 2nd and 2, Carr. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. He's going to rifle one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the gun, it's Carr. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Will Parks. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On 1st down, Lindsey works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Flacco. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And it's a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller, able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. To throw on 3rd down, Carr. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Benson Mayowa showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Flacco looks to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Maurice Hurst, his 2nd sack of the night. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Flacco. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 38. And McManus able to put it through. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Still an important piece of business to take care of. And now it's blocked. Oh, the Raiders have it. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Looking to throw on second down. Carr, it's a screen to Richard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. Shotgun now for Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Incomplete. It's now 4th down.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and
smile.
shake hands. Yes, get out of there.